Hey math kids, today we're going to talk about deductive or proof by deduction, and we're going to look at this statement and prove it true or false. Okay, so it says prove by induction, or sorry, prove by deduction, and what we're going to look at is if x is less than 5. So let's just come up with some numbers that are less than 5. -6, -7, -10. So if x is less than 5, then we know that the absolute value of x is greater than 5, right? Because if we took the absolute value of that, it would be 6. Absolute value of that would be 7. Absolute value of that would be 10. And all those numbers are larger than 5. Okay, so we have that statement. Now we want to get to something that has x squared, right? So if we square this, we end up with x squared is greater than 25. Because when we square something, it forces it to be positive, just like an absolute value, so we don't have to worry about that absolute value anymore. Okay? And so we kind of went from here to here. We showed some steps that were all logically sound, and so we proved by deduction that this statement is true. Now on part B, it says explain why the converse is not true. So the converse would be if x squared is greater than 25, then x is less than -5. Okay. So we can look at this. All you have to do is find a specific example that makes this false. So when we're proving things false, it's quite a bit easier. So for example, let's try 6 in for x. So 6 is greater than 25. 6 squared is greater than 25. So that's true, right? Because that's 36 is greater than 25. Okay? And then if we use that same x value, 6 is less than -5. That is definitely false. And so we just proved, we only have to show one example, because if it's even false once, then it's false forever. Now, one more thing I wanted to point out to tie this to the previous video. This is the situation where we have x is less than 5 implies x squared is greater than 25. And that would be a single arrow situation, because this ends up being true. But if we go the other way, which the arrow is not pointing, it's false, because we just showed that down here. And so it's important that if we have a single arrow situation, an if-then situation, then we can only go one direction with it. If you need additional help, come to Math Lab. Until then, calculate.